Hello. So, obviously, it's been a while. Welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, my name is Tiana, or online, I go by LEMYNAID. Um, I guess to give a little bit of an intro for those who don't know me, I was primarily a Twitch streamer that played a lot of games. Some online, like multiplayer games, but a lot of single player. Like, I like doing story mode, playthroughs, etc. And then I decided to go back to school full time. So, obviously, that interfered with not just my content creation on this channel, but across all my platforms. Um, to be fair, it wasn't like school just suddenly hijacked my life. I wanted to fully immerse myself in school, and I'm going to get into a few reasons why I took such a deliberate break, and then also how that's changed my relationship with social media. So, firstly, like I was saying, I did go back to school full time, full course load. So, handling all like social media and editing and filming, especially with live streaming. I love live streaming. Don't get me wrong. Everyone that's from my like gaming community or who found me on Twitch, thank you for being here for me. I appreciate your support. But it's so much harder to plan live streams when you're going to school full time as opposed to like YouTube videos. And even YouTube videos are a lot of work. So my schedule was no longer stable in the sense that each semester was a little bit different. And having like taking 5 classes, that time outside of the classroom, I was literally doing homework or asynchronous work or something. So, yeah, I just had so much less time. And this was also me going back to school after not having been in school for a significant amount of time. So, this was like a huge adjustment for me as well. So, separately from school, more specifically myself, one thing I found, though I love content creation, and obviously I'm here creating content, I want to create content, but I think my mindset around content, I apologize if I'm looking out into the distance, by the way. The clouds look really cool and they're moving and it's distracting. That's like one of the reasons I'm wearing headphones, because I know if I hear a noise, I'm going to get distracted. But, anyways, one thing I noticed in relation to my mentality around content creation was because I was indoors a lot of the time alone. I started to feel kind of isolated, especially considering I've been doing it for a number of years. I felt isolated. I wasn't really interacting with people outside of the online world, which again, I fully and deeply appreciate all the connections I made online, but it's so much different. Sorry, I thought my door was open. But it's so much different, like interacting with people in real life and having like friends in real life to go hang out with, etc. So yeah, I felt very isolated. And then it got to a point where it felt like everything needed to be content. And I know that's a very common, I guess, sentiment amongst content creators, especially newer ones. Or if you've been doing it for like a shorter amount of time, you feel like everything needs to be content. You don't know where to draw a boundary or like draw a line for like what's just for you. And even then, even when you do draw those lines, you're like, oh, well, this would be really cool to show, blah, blah, blah. Especially if you have like mixed content and it's more so your hobbies as opposed to just like one genre of thing. So yeah, I felt like I didn't have a lot of solid boundaries. I felt very isolated, and that definitely showed in my mental health, which wasn't great. I also had always planned on going back to school. So again, this wasn't something that just came out of nowhere. I'd always wanted to go back to school and take something. I think it was more so that I didn't know what I wanted to do. I say this all the time, but I feel my most fulfilled when I'm being creative in every aspect of my life. And I think for a long time I was afraid to go into a more creative career because I feel like, again, it's a common sentiment when you're growing up for people to be like, oh, you're not going to make money doing that. You're not going to blah, 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 blah. but I decided to do it anyways. So for those of you who don't know, I'm in school for graphic design. I also do some UI UX design, which is fun, but I'm in my last semester, which is kind of crazy. And I really wish I had made this video before I started, because it would have been really cool to document like how I felt through school. But honestly, looking back at my first semester, even my first 2 semesters, my first year, I was so overwhelmed. Like, I was having a great time. I really love I love school. I love learning. I think that's another thing in content creation. I didn't feel particularly challenged. So while I really enjoyed my community and hanging out with you all, I just didn't feel challenged. Like, it didn't feel like I was progressing internally. Like, maybe I was progressing in the sense of getting more followers and whatnot, but I didn't feel like I was progressing in my soul, you know? But yeah, I wish I had documented earlier on, because that would have been a really fun journey to take you guys on. But at this point, I do have a lot of video ideas related to school. One being how I stay organized, because I think going into it, I was already fairly organized, but school opened my eyes to a lot more like task management software, I guess. And I did an internship in the summer that helped me a lot with organizing, not just like work and projects, but my life. But yeah, so after having been in school for a while, like I said, it's my last semester. I really wanted to get back into content creation, and obviously I miss my community. I'd love to meet more people online, build a bigger community, but I think what this channel is going to be is mainly me sharing bits of my life and my creativity, but at a pace that I feel comfortable, because I don't want to fall back into the pattern of feeling like I have to share everything. Yeah, I don't want to fall back into the pattern of feeling like I have to show everything, but I do want to consistently share my creativity, because I'm inspired by other people's passions and what other people are inspired. So I want to be that for someone. So I guess a bit of what I've been diving into when I haven't been doing content creation. Some of these things people from my stream already know, because I've talked about it before. As you can tell, I love to talk. That's actually one thing I would love to do on this channel. Also, I get sidetracked a lot. I should have prefaced that at the beginning of the video. If you've made it this far, you know this by the way I'm talking. But that's another thing. I would love to do little talk time videos. I've been talking about that forever, but I want to put that into action. I knit and crochet. I wish I had footage of this. But this Christmas I made everyone in my family, I like crocheted them something. That would have been really fun to show the process. Which is sorry, let me not get distracted. That would have been really fun to show the process of that. I say this, take this with a grain of salt, okay? I DJ a little bit. A little bit, okay? And when I say a little bit, I mean a little bit. But that's something that I'm working on that I really want to get better at. I also make my own press-on nails. I was doing gel X for a bit, but I actually have an allergy, and I just never knew what it was, and it slowly just got like worse and worse, and I was like, oh, this looks like an allergy. So I'm allergic to gel X, but I do make my own press-ons, which is pretty sick. Not me just like gassing myself up there, but yeah, no. So I'd love to take you all on some little creative journeys and see where it takes us. But I missed everyone. Thank you for your everlasting patience. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, I look forward to creating things and sharing them with you all. If you guys have any video recommendations or ideas, feel free to leave a comment. I would love that. Word of warning though, I probably will not be doing vlogs. That is something I've kind of officially decided, or if I do, it'll be something very specific, like a specific event or something. But most likely will not be doing like daily, weekly vlogs. I mean, I guess never say never, but at this point in time. So if any of these things resonate with you, feel free to subscribe. Thank you for being here. Leave any suggestions in the comments, pretty please. And I will see you next video. See you.